One of the most underappreciated aspects of Minecraft is its wealth of music. From the soundtrack to the discs scattered throughout the game, it is exploding with sound. So join me and my foxy friend Millie as we set out to collect every single music disc in my forever world. Let's go. Alright, new day, new video, new project. So we've got our backpack, let's go get some food and pick up our tools. So we can just go ahead and grab our bread from this right here. We're gonna have to refill that eventually, and I've kept my tools in here. Don't worry, I will one day organize all of my stuff, but today is not that day. So let's go ahead and put our Silk Touch pick away and all of our extra bread. Let's get our backpack on our back and we are good to go. All right, so theoretically, most of our music discs are gonna come from mob drops. Specifically when a skeleton kills a creeper with a bow and arrow. Mojang, why is this the law? But anyways, let's get down into this cave and give it a shot. Okay, I see a creeper over here with a zombie. Hopefully we can get the creeper to kind of follow. And there is a skeleton over here, so maybe we can actually get this to happen. Where did the skeleton go? I swear it was right here. Oh, diamonds. Okay, don't really have time to go grab that, but it's good to note that there is a diamond down here. There was literally like 2 skeletons here less than 30 seconds ago. Okay, wait, I hear one. Okay, there's one. And the creeper. Look at the creeper, don't look at me, look at the creeper. No. Yes! Wait, did it do it? No, I think the creeper just blew up the skeleton. That is not what we wanted. I'm just gonna take a moment and maybe let a few more skeletons spawn, but in the meantime, I am just gonna go grab this diamond before I forget where it is. Yay! Oh, there's more than one. Fun. Oh, there's actually more than 2, this is crazy. Oh, but there is only 3. Still pretty good. All right, so honestly, I think this is not going to work, or at least it will work eventually. It's just gonna take me forever. So I'm gonna have to come up with a new plan. Okay, I think naturally our plan is to go for a disc farm, and I've scoured Reddit and I think I know how to do this, but we're gonna need to go grab some materials for sure. I hit up my farms for spruce, dark oak, and iron. After that, I picked up some sand, sandstone, birch, pine, and wool. I snagged some red dye, stone, moss, and a name tag before heading home. Okay, so now we have to actually build this thing. Let's figure it out, I guess. I have seen a lot of these huge farms that are like kind of automatic, but they're also big and they are ugly. And I need this farm close to our base so that I don't have to travel hundreds of miles every time that I want to spend a little time at the farm, which means we definitely don't want an eyesore around our gorgeous home. So my plan is to create a mini version of a farm where I just kind of manually lure the skeleton in and then the creeper, and then I stand in my spot, let nature do its thing, and hopefully I get a disc. And then just repeat that. I know it sounds like a really long process, and I think it honestly might be, but it also gives me something to do instead of just standing AFK for hours, because where's the fun or challenge in that? All right, now we're all dug out, let's fill this thing in. So we're gonna use some pine logs either side of this bit right here, and we're gonna make sure all of those are stripped. Then we're gonna add in 2 more pine posts on this level. Then in this gap, we need to do a double chest and then 3 hoppers. And now we just need to fill in the rest of the walls with wood. Technically, we could just leave this as dirt, but I like to make everything look cute. To be honest, I might actually pick these up and just move them up 1 block. That way that the surrounding blocks are also this pine wood. With that done, I'm just gonna place a torch right here. Then I'm gonna add in some ladders so that I can actually get in and out of this place. And then a trapdoor here and glass on top of these. I've gone ahead and just covered the farm up a little bit with some cute details. And just before we go and grab a skeleton, let me show you the plan. So the skeleton is gonna go in here. I'm gonna lovingly name him Skelly Belly. And then in this part here, we're gonna go for a creeper, and we will have to keep finding multiple creepers to lure into here, which should be really fun and not stressful at all. But then I'll come and stand here, then the skeleton should see me, but then shoot the creeper, giving us a disc, hopefully. So I'm seeing a skeleton right here. I'm kind of wondering if I'm able to pick them up. I feel like I'm not going to be able to because I'm holding a torch, honestly. Let me try that again. Oh, please, please, please let me pick you up. Okay, well, my carry mod does not seem to want to work for that, so I guess we're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way and just make it follow me. Oh, this is really not going to plan. Oh no, not phantoms too. Oh no, oh gosh. Oh, this is going horribly wrong. I'm gonna go to bed and we'll try this again tomorrow night. So not the best start to the farm, but we're gonna get it tomorrow, don't worry. How do I even get him to stand in this hole? I feel like that's so unlikely. Oh, and of course there is a creeper nearby. Perfect. Really what I needed right now. He just went right over the hole. What the heck? Oh goodness, oh goodness. Go in the hole. Oh yes, okay, we got the creeper in. Now we just need to get this guy in. Okay, I have the skeleton. I'm trying to run as fast as I possibly can whilst holding a skeleton, which is not very fast at all. But I am just gonna get him where he needs to be, and hopefully we can deal with the rest of these guys. We'll put the name tag on and we will be absolutely fine, and we'll hopefully get our first music disc. Sorry, my brain just completely glitched right then. Let's go give Skelly Belly a name. Alright, Skelly Belly is in the hole. Ouch. Let's try and grab a creeper, which apparently there are none of them left. Oh my gosh, please just go where I want you to go. Please, please, please. No! Please just go in this hole. No! Hole. There we go. Okay, let's put that down. Let's get in the hole and we should have our first situation happen here. There's no way it takes this long. Oh goodness, okay. Ah! Oh no! That's not good. All right, I added a trapdoor so that can no longer happen, but then I realized I can't even open the chest. So let me just break this piece of glass. Thank you. And for our first disc, we have 13. So I was trying to come up with a way to store all of the discs in an interesting way because chests felt way too boring. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and stick all of them in a fabulous opera house. Now I'm just gonna start by getting the outlines, the foundation, and all of the frames in place, starting with the foundation blocks first. Then we'll take a little break and attempt to use the disc farm a little bit more because by the time I'm done with this part of the build, I'm sure I'm gonna be so excited to run around to try and lure creepers in without getting blown up. Nothing crazy, just going from block placing to near-death experiences. Gotta keep things interesting. Anyways, for the foundation, I'm using stone bricks, and since it's covering quite a big area, I'm mixing in a couple of chipped mod variants just to make sure it doesn't end up looking super boring or too chunky. So this is the foundation, pretty much done because I'm not gonna fill the entire thing in, just because I'm gonna do the interior blocks slightly different, or like the floor of the interior blocks slightly different. So for now, I'm just gonna fill in this front bit, which will obviously be the entrance to our little opera house, or big opera house, I should say. And then once all of this is filled in, we can add in some stairs, and again, our foundation will be pretty much complete. So that is the staircase done, and of course the outline / foundation done. I decided to get a little head start on the interior this time, mainly because we don't have a solid foundation like we usually would. So after I had the outline in place, all we really needed to do was fill in the gaps. It definitely looks a little bit random, not gonna lie, but sometimes you've just gotta trust the process with these bigger builds. It will eventually come together, I promise. Or at least I'm hoping it does. Okay, that's pretty much the foundation of the interior finished. Let's get to work on this frame. So to start with our frame, let's do 2 big pillars at the entrance. And honestly, I think our whole frame is technically going to count as part of the exterior detailing, since it's going to include all of the pillars and like the structure around the outside. But I'm saying it still counts as a frame because I'm not actually going to fill anything in just yet. So we're just building the bones for now, which means we'll be left with an empty shell of a theater. And that is a frame. I think for these other pillars, we should try and keep them super simple for now, like just get the shapes in place and try not to overthink it. Then once everything else is done, we can come back in and add all of the dimension and the texture and all of that good stuff. But as I said, for now, we're just doing the structure. Okay, here's how we're looking with the part of the frame done. Let's get back up there and add in the rest of the pillars. So I'm gonna go, if my math is correct, 8 blocks across. Okay, and then we're gonna go across, I'm pretty sure it's 4, so let's do 4 across like this, and then we're gonna do a double layer of the smooth stone, or smooth sandstone even, Then we're going to do cut sandstone and then 4 layers of this type of sandstone, but just in the middle. Then we're going to go right across the top with our cut sandstone and make sure to come out the extra block again, and then just top it off with some smooth sandstone and join it up with normal sandstone. So finally the foundation and the frame is finished. The sun is going down, so let's just spend a little time in our little farm down here, and then we'll head out for some more materials once we get another disc. Okay, we have got a creeper. Is it gonna go into the hole? Probably not. Let's see. Please go straight in. Ah! Why didn't it go in? Oh no, oh no. There we go. Okay, now we can just go stand in here, put this down, and we're gonna get ourselves another disc, finally. I fear that didn't give us a disc. Oh, wait, it did. Oh, it gave us chirp. Perfect. So I'm just going to put all of my discs into this cabinet here, and of course we'll grab them all later to put into our opera house. But for now, let's go to bed because we have got materials to grab tomorrow. I topped off my wood, adding mangrove and bamboo to the mix. I headed out in search of crimsite, gold, and diamonds to repair my tools. Once that was sorted, I picked up a bunch of sandstone, wool, red terracotta, and concrete ingredients, plus a ton of red flowers for dye. I then hunted down a village for a bell before grabbing some wheat for hay bales. Now, some of the discs that we need are only gonna come from an ancient city, which means we're gonna need some wool to carefully cover up all of the Sculk sensors and whatnot so that we can actually get it done in peace, if you can ever really be at peace in an ancient city. But that is exactly why we're building a little pen right now. The plan is to grab a few sheep, get a small wool farm going, and hopefully save ourselves some stress when it comes time to tiptoe around the terrifying underground horror that is the Deep Dark. Okay, never mind. I definitely had made a mistake, and apparently I can't count. So I'm just gonna break all of this wood down and try again. Oh, actually this side is fine. So we're gonna do this again, but we're actually gonna come out 2 more blocks further this time. And hopefully that's enough. Then we're gonna do a little thing here, then a couple little things right here. And this should be good. Okay, so we're gonna go 2, and then we're leaving a gap for the fence gates. Then we're going 1, 2, 3, and then around the corner. Nope, just a block. Then 2, then another block, then 2 more, and a block, and then just 1 more. Okay, that is looking like a much better space for some sheep. So let's just put in our spruce fence gates and then add our details. So on top of each of these, we're gonna add in a spruce plank. That is not a spruce plank, that is a spruce slab. Then on top of all the fences, we're gonna add in a spruce trapdoor from the chipped mod. Next up, we're gonna add a little hedge of leaves so that the sheep can't just escape really easily. And we're gonna have to make sure at least this front row of leaves is doubled up so that obviously they can't just climb their way up. Then I'm just gonna dig out a few holes underneath the border here to replace it with some trodden dirt and some rough dirt just to make this look a little bit more interesting. And I'm also gonna add in some dirt paths. Alright, I altered that ever so slightly, but I think we're looking good now. Not that it really makes that much difference, but I just feel like I had done too much before. So anyways, let's just add in some extra hay bales to make it look a little bit more sheep friendly in here. Then with the addition of a few flowers, I think we are done here. Other than getting some sheep, obviously. So we do actually already have a few sheep in this bigger farm, but of course we want them to be separated so we can just really breed them. So I think what I'm gonna do is just give the ones that we do have a bunch of wheat so that we have some babies in here, and then just move a couple over to the new farm. And to move the sheep, I am just gonna use our trusty carry mod just to make it as easy as possible. This is ridiculous. That is sheep number 1 in the pen. Let's go take a little bit of a nap and then we'll grab sheep number 2. Okay, all of our sheep are here. Are any of them hungry? Those 2 are perfect. And then we'll just shear these guys that are ready to be sheared. I feel like this farm is also just going to be super handy in the future anyways, because we are going to need a bit of wool. And by a bit, I mean a lot. Whilst the sheep do their thing and grow their wool and also grow up, I'm back in this scenario where I'm trying to get a creeper to fall in the hole. And we did it first time. Perfect. So let's put a little lid on that guy. Let's put our defenses down and let's get another disc. And this time we managed to get ward. Okay, good. I'm glad it is a different disc. I'm gonna have a little look around and see if we can find another creeper to lure over here, because it would be good if we could get another one tonight, because it is, I think, fairly early in the night. All right, creeper number 2 is in the hole. Let's get ourselves a fourth disc. I feel so bad. It genuinely looks so confused at what's happening. And he looks so sad too. And we have blocks. Okay, perfect. Again, glad it is a different CD at least. Okay, there are 2 creepers over here, but ideally I only want 1 because dealing with 2 is a little bit too spooky. Oh my gosh, there's so many skeletons. This one might even happen naturally. But if the creeper could go in the hole, oh, okay, or not, please get in the hole. Oh gosh, why is this so difficult? 10th time's the charm. Get in the hole, get in the hole, get in the hole. Yay! Okay, let's put the lid on that. Let's get back down there. And let's get our 5th disc. Hopefully it is not a dupe. In the meantime, I'm gonna have some dinner. And for our 5th disc, we have mole. So let's go put these into the safety of our home. And let's go grab a nap before hopefully the sun comes up. Nice and safe. Okay, so the idea here is to get the walls and the roof of the opera house done in one go, and also kind of still waiting on some sheep before we cruise on and find some more discs. So let's get this done. Starting with the entrance. And for the entrance, I'm gonna fill in the edges with some sandstone and some birch wood. But then I'm also gonna try and create the illusion of a big grand door here, because let's be honest, just a single standard sized door on the front of such a big build would look really, really silly. I feel like with this one, we definitely need drama, we need presence, and even if it's not a functioning door, it's gotta look like one that opens with a dramatic creak and echo. I feel like that fits the brief, right? With the entrance sorted, let's get to work on our walls. So I'm gonna I'm gonna fill in this gap with this type of sandstone block all the way across like that. Then we're gonna do a row of sandstone across like this. Do I wanna go either side? I don't think so. Then let's build up the whole middle bit with just some smooth sandstone and stop when we meet this block here. Either side of this post, we're going to double up some birch planks. Then for either side of the window, we're just going to mimic the pattern that already exists here. Then to fill in this gap, we're going to add in another pillar. So we're going to have to do a couple of blocks here like this, and then just build our way up. And that is our first wall filled in, which looks like this from the outside. Okay, I've done both sides of the front wall. Now let's fill in the side walls, which is going to be a little bit easier or maybe harder depending on what you consider difficult. But anyways, what we're going to do is fill in the entire gap with blocks and not leave holes for windows like we did right here, because this whole bit is going to be the theater. And we're still going to match the pattern of the pillars that we've already put in. And here's how that's looking. So we're just going to do the same thing all the way along the sides and probably along the back too, honestly. Okay, now that the walls are done, I'm going to add a second archway just inside of the theater to create a little entryway, because honestly, I've never been to a theater where you walk in the front door and like stage and seating are immediately right in front of you. I may be wrong, but I feel like there's always a little transition space where like someone's grabbing your ticket, or just a place where you kind of awkwardly wait around until the actual doors open. All right, that's looking pretty good. Let's add in some walls to actually section off this whole area. So let's just start by filling in the bottom with some red terracotta. Then we're going to use a little mix of concrete powder and wool to make it look kind of like curtains. So let's just go along and add in that same pattern all the way along here. Double this, single that, and then we'll just do the same thing here. And now we just need to build up all of the walls all the way up to the top. And now you can probably understand why I've made a sheep farm, because this was pre-sheep farm and it took me so long to do. But now we kind of have most of the walls up in here, and of course we have these areas done and all of the outside stuff. With all the walls done, I went ahead and filled in most of the roof, then started adding a really cool dome on top. Mostly to break up all of the sandstone and bring in a nice pop of color with some red blocks. I also had a really fun little idea for the inside of the dome too, but you're gonna have to wait and see what that ends up being. Luckily, the dome wasn't too difficult despite the difficulties that usually come with building something round in a block-based game. It actually came together pretty quickly, and even though we still had some details to add to it later, it already added a nice bit of interest to the build. Okie dokie guys, I would say we probably have enough wool to get us by for now. But now we do have to go find an ancient city. So let's get down into this cave, and I'm almost certain there's one nearby because I remember seeing one way before this video. Okay, it took a little while, but we have found a nice area of Sculk, but I don't think that means there is an ancient city nearby. Okay, never mind. The ancient city is literally right here. So what we should be able to do is just sneak our way across this. I've got a feeling we probably can't jump though, which is not really ideal. Let's just take a little look at what we're working with. I really don't want to do this, guys. Now, in my anxiety-ridden state, I think I may have neglected to tell you why we're actually down here. So, the reason that we're down in the ancient city is because we need disc shards for 5, and I'd also like to get 13. Even though we already got 13 in the very beginning, given how creepy that disc is, I do still want to try and find it in the ancient city. And I'm just trying to cover up as many of the shriekers or sensors or whatever they're called as possible with some wool so that I can kind of walk around a little bit more freely, and I'll be able to break some blocks without getting killed, basically. Okay, there is a chest right here, but I feel like that still may set off these ones. I'm not entirely sure what the radius is for this, so I am not going to take any chances, but I just figured I would try and make my way to a chest first and then get these covered, and then I'll deal with the whole getting Sculk thing afterwards, because I feel like that's going to be a little bit of a nightmare. Gosh, this feels so painful because I have to move so slowly around here. I kind of could probably do a swift sneak, I think it's called, but honestly I think that's something that you get when you're here. I spent a little while covering a few more around the area, so much so that this is growing Sculk vein. I'm just hoping this has the disc in it. 3, 2, 1. No! That also set off a little squiggly thing, but I don't think the sensor went off. I guess we'll take all of the books and I'll grab some Sculk because I do need it. On to the next one. Yay! So there is a double chest situation here, and I'm hoping that means there is something good in them. But I do need to cover at least all of the sensors. I think I could actually probably get away with only covering whatever this is. I need to cover those definitely. But I think as long as there isn't another one around, I can get away with not covering these ones. I think this one might be safe anyway. Oh, okay, I didn't hear any Sculk sounds. Oh, okay, we have a couple of disc fragments, which is great. We need 5 of them total, I believe. Let's just grab the coal anyways, and of course take all of the books. Other than that, I think we're good. Now for this one, which is a much scarier ordeal. Or a much scarier ordeal is what I was trying to say there. I am taking a bit of a risk with this, but I think I've only set them off one time right at the start, so we should be fine. Wish me luck. Ah! Okay, I think we're good. We got the remaining disc fragments, which is really great news. Let's take the books. What potion do we have? Regen. We'll take it. Why not? Let's take the coal, so it saves us having to get... Saves us having to get any later. Okay, wait, we're safe. We're safe. Oh my gosh, we're fine. Oh, that is really great news. So now we just need the disc 13, I think it was called. All right, chest number 4. Wish me luck. No! Okay, we do have a name tag though, so I will take that. The rest of it we will be leaving behind. There is another chest over here, but I can't seem to find one of the sensor things. Oh, get off. I mean, I think that confirms that we're safe though, because I didn't hear any shrieking, so hopefully... Actually, we might be okay if we do this from here. Nope, I think opening that would set off the shrieker, or I don't know which way around it is, but 3, 2, 1. Please be 13. Yes! Oh my god, okay. Cool. We got another disc fragment. We'll take another potion of regen, and I guess we'll leave that as that. Oh, what a day. And I would absolutely love to say, let's go ahead and get out of here, but we can't go anywhere because I do need to collect a bunch of Sculk. And I feel like this area is safe enough because there isn't one of the scary things that's gonna tell on me, but the further I go, the more likely it is that I could run into one of those things. So I feel like I probably should take precaution and cover them over, just because the warden is something we definitely don't want to run into, especially at this stage. Okay, with that done, let's just spend some time collecting up as much Sculk as possible, and then let's get the heck out of here. Goodness, does it feel good to be home. So I've just put all of my materials in the chest for now. I kind of thought it would be a good idea to use our books. So I'm gonna put our feather falling onto our boots. And I know I have Depth Strider, but I don't know if I need it right now. So I'm gonna put it safely away in my storage. Guys, I just realized something. I came up here to craft my disc. Now, if you look at my hotbar, we're missing something. Yep, that's right. We are missing 3 more disc shards. Ha 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 ha. So what has definitely happened here is that I have gotten confused with the disc being called 5 and thinking that we only need 5 shards. Don't know why I thought that. My brain has failed me. But I guess we can go ahead and put our disc 13 into the chest and our 6 of 9 disc fragments. I can't believe we have to go back down there. So, armed once again with wool and determination, I return to the ancient city to find the remaining 3 shards. Perhaps one of my top 10 mistakes in my 400 years of making videos. Definitely up there with crafting a diamond hoe while already very short on diamonds and spending 2 full hours recording, only to realize I never actually hit record. Painful, but kind of iconic because it's definitely on brand for me. I cannot believe. First, I forget the 3 shards, and now I'm in this situation. What is going on? All right, the coast is clear, and we're back and attempting to do this again. I'm kind of worried about how I'm gonna be able to cover this one completely because we have this one here covering it too, if that makes sense. Like, I can't put wool all the way around it because there are other blocks, and I feel like this block here is gonna cause like a thing to this block, so I think what I'm gonna have to do is just make sure that like every wiggly thing is covered just to be sure that these things aren't gonna go off, because as you might have just seen, the warden did pop out for a second there, and it was not fun to say the least. I think we should be good. There are still a few up here, but I don't think I'm close enough to them or they're not connected, so let's just hope and pray. Okay, there's no shards in here, but there is 3 bottles of enchanting and a saddle, so I'll take that. Do I need blast protection? Probably not. I'd rather normal protection, but I will take this diamond hoe. Would be nice if it had silk touch on it, but unfortunately it doesn't. Oh, okay. There are enough shards here to cover the rest. Let's take our potion of regen. Don't think we need any of this other stuff. We will take the saddle though. Let's actually get out of here this time and never return. Okay, let's grab the rest of our disc fragments and let's go make ourselves a disc. And just like that, we have the remaining disc from the ancient city. So let's go put it safely into our house and let's take a well-deserved nap. And good night. My goodness, does it feel like a million years since I've been here? Of course, for you guys, it's been a matter of seconds, but we do have some exterior details to add to this thing. So let's get it done. So before we get started on the outside, I do want to add in some Sculk to the ceiling, which was my big old idea that I had so many moons ago. But unfortunately, it has become a little bit of a mob spawner in here. So we are going to have to deal with these guys before we even think about that. I probably would be okay, but the spiders do in fact climb, as you probably know, and I do think the skeletons would try their hardest to shoot me off of any post that I decide to build to actually get up here and place some blocks. So I'm just going to kill as many as are here, obviously, and hopefully these don't keep spawning. It'd be really annoying. And let's go grab some torches real quick from outside and get this thing lit up a bit. I think this should be fine. Let's just place a couple of these to be safe. Then let's get rid of these guys. Luckily, the Enderman isn't going to be a problem as long as we don't stare him in the eyes, which I think is fair enough. And we should be good to start building on the ceiling. So I have done this in a couple of builds before, but I absolutely love covering a ceiling in Sculk because it really does just give that starry sky feel. And I feel like that's perfect for this giant opera theatre that we're building. And that is the first part of the roof completely covered. What's that? You thought that was going to be it? Oh, no, no, no. You must be new here. As I said, we will be covering every last inch of this in Sculk, or at least the ceiling, not the entire theater. That would be insane. And at long last, the entire ceiling is covered. How incredible does that look? Definitely worth the struggle of mining in the ancient city, I think. I'm not quite done with the inside roof yet. I do want to add in some extra details with some gold, but for now, I do want to take a little bit of a break from building kind of like upside down to just adding in some extra details on the outside, because that is actually what I was meant to be doing today. So with all of the sandstone walls put in, we're going to put in some smooth sandstone stairs all the way around the edge, which should take us no time at all. And yes, that was sarcasm, because this is going to take me forever, because I have to stay crouched and we are moving so slowly. Although, to be honest, I am being a little bit dramatic because it's really not that big. I've also gone ahead and added a little lip above the roof here, and now I'm going to build up the middle of this dome. So let's add in a little layer of this, then do some sandstone walls on each side. Then we can go ahead and just join these up with some more sandstone walls and get to work on the roof of this part, which is just going to include doing a little bit of this with the mangrove wood even, and then adding in some walls and stairs. Then on each of the posts, we're going to do a couple slabs, and then in the middle, just some sandstone stairs. And for a little finishing touch that I don't think you're really going to be able to see from the ground, we're going to add in a bell that I so kindly borrowed from a village. So I actually went ahead and added some detail to the roof, and I'm not sure if it was a mistake or not. I wanted to add in a lot of gold detailing to make it look super grand and expensive, but I didn't want to have to find enough gold to do, well, this whole design. So I opted for bamboo, but I don't know whether I should have or not. But to be honest, I've already done it now, so I'm going to keep it that way. And I think by the end, it's going to all come together anyway, and it's going to look great, so there's no need to worry. So we're obviously not done yet, but we are looking a little bit better with some extra dimension and details, and of course, our new upgraded roof. And just before we head out for some more materials, we are going to be heading into our farm again. So let's try and get this guy in the hole. My favorite part of using this farm. In the hole. No. Oh, he's in. And so are we. So now we're just going to open that. Skelly Belly's going to do his job. And we should get another disc. Alright, we have got Ward, which I think we might actually have already. Let me just double check that. Oh man, we already have it. Okay, let's go back to the farm and let's try and get a different disc. Looking for a creeper, and there is one over there, so let's go grab it. And this time I would love if we could get a different type of disc, please. Yay! Okay, we got music disc 11, which I think is one of those ones that sounds terrifying actually. I mean, it looks pretty broken to me, so I imagine it probably sounds pretty broken. Let's put disc number 8 into the safety of this cabinet, and then let's grab a little nap and we'll head out for some more materials tomorrow. I crafted some lanterns and chains, then I picked up some more bamboo, stone, and deep slate. I also grabbed some azalea leaves and smelted some more glass. Some gold later, and I was heading back to base. Alright, it is Nether time, and we're going in for two things, shroom lights and pig step. So I'm pretty much just going to wander around until I find a bastion. I have a bunch of these Nether highways clearly, and they should take me somewhere. Although honestly, I don't recall seeing any bastions whilst building these, so it may be best to just go the complete opposite direction to all of these. And whilst wandering around, we can just grab shroom lights along the way. Okay, we're actually at one of our transformed forests, which means our Nether highway goes right across here. And get this, guys. Just over here in the distance is a bastion. So I either completely missed that or I just don't remember seeing it. But that is great news for me because, well, actually bad news, because now I need to go over there and try and find that disc. This is so strange. I feel like this isn't a bastion. Oh, wait. There's a chest here. What is this place? And unfortunately, there is no disc in this single chest that I've managed to find. So we may have to actually find a second bastion because I'm almost certain this isn't a bastion. Okay, I am next to another Nether highway. And there's apparently a bastion here. I don't know if I'm blind or if, to be honest, I was just focused on building all of this, but I do not remember seeing this. Either way, this one does look a little bit more promising. Let's just keep making our way down. There is a chest. I feel like they're not going to be happy about me with the chest, right? I think what I might do just to be safe is sort of shut myself in here. And then I can't get in trouble with this guy, or at least whilst I'm opening his chest. So wish me luck. Okay, we have got a smithing template. Perfect. We've got some ancient debris, which I will happily take. And other than that, we just have soul speed and a looting sword, which I guess there's no harm in having. Other than that, I think we're done here. And hopefully I can get out of here freely. But the guy might be mad at me. I do actually need to break all of these because I do need the shroom lights. I feel like this is a little bit risky, but we'll give it a go. Still. But I will take these diamond leggings. We'll take the diamond sword. Ah, they're coming for me. And the smithing template. Everything else can just stay. Where is this disc? Okay, we have 2 chests. What have we got in here? Not a lot of anything, but I will take the chains because you can't have too many of those. And I will take a fire aspect sword because we can pair these up together and have a pretty good sword. Okay, it looks like we have 2 chests here. Hopefully one of them has the disc. Of course it doesn't, but we will take the chain and I guess this iron ingot to make it feel like we have something. Please, please, please have the disc. 3, 2, 1. Ah, is that it? It is it. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Is there anything else we need? Nope, nope, nope. Let's get ourselves out of here. So I've just put all of my nether stuff into this cabinet. One day we will have enough of these to do some upgrades, but today is not that day. Now let's put our disc safely into the cabinet, and that is disc number 9. And just before we head to bed, I'm gonna head back to our little storage area over here because I forgot to combine our swords. I feel like this is going to be a really helpful sword for, well, looting in general, but just a cool sword to have. Would have been nice if it was diamond, but beggars can't be choosers, or whatever the saying is. So now that we have a bunch of shroom lights, we're going to do the interior lighting, and we're also going to add in some lanterns to do that as well. So let's just place a lantern on all 4 of these corners. As much as I love the glowing Sculk, it's obviously not very bright, and we definitely need a lot more lighting up here. Actually, I think I'm going to put in some lanterns on these bits here because it is still pretty dark up in this dome. Then to light up the sides, I'm just going to add in a shroom light on the bottom and the top, then fill in the gap with the concrete powder. And just like that, we have a little bit of lighting in here. We're not completely done yet, but I absolutely love how the light glows, especially with these shaders, which, if you're wondering, is complementary reimagined. All right, we're still looking at pretty plain on the outside, so let's get some details in here, starting with actually adding in some windows. Then underneath the windows, let's add some bushes. Then up here, I'm gonna add in a little archway type detail just to make it look a little bit more interesting from the outside. Then I'm just gonna fill in this gap with all of these walls. And I think we need a little bit more detail up here on the dome. And just before the sun goes down, I think we need a little bit of greenery up here. And I feel like we are officially looking really, really cool here with our opera house. And I feel like I really need to help this guy down from the ledge because it's looking a little bit dire over there. Sir, do you need some help perhaps? All right. Yeah, I think you do. So let's try and build a little staircase up and hopefully he'll just come down on his own accord. Oh, and there he goes. We've saved a life. Perfect. Literally no thank you, just on his way. But yeah, I think we're looking really cool so far. Let's go do something else for a little bit. So for some reason, I've been really struggling to get the disc cat from our farm, and apparently you can get that disc in a wooden mansion, which I don't think I've ever been to. At least not in one of my videos, that's for sure. So this guy here is trading tomatoes and onions for emeralds, which we're going to need to trade with a Fletcher or something to get a map to the wooden mansion. Or at least that's what the internet is telling me is going to happen. So we're just hopping back and forth to our little farm area, grabbing our Farmer's Delight, tomatoes and onions, and we are going to be trading these emeralds for a little bit. Okay, I have the cartography table. Let's put it down next to this jobless villager. And I guess this guy doesn't want a job. Oh, unless... No? You don't have a job. I can't do anything for you. How about you? Oh, there we go. So this guy is trading emeralds for paper and also paper for emeralds. Oh, this is an empty map. So I guess we'll just get a bunch of empty maps right now. Or just one. And I think we're going to have to visit our paper farm or our sugarcane farm so that we can get some paper to trade for more emeralds and level the guy up. And hopefully he gives us a map to the mansion. So here we can just grab all of this sugarcane. To be honest, we should probably just take the top layer so that we don't have to plant all of it again. But this will give us a bunch of paper for us to trade for the emeralds and level up the cartographer. Let's see what we can do. Okay, I guess we're going to need a lot more paper. Oh, but we did get the emeralds, so we can get another empty map, but we'll level him up a little bit more. This is gonna be a little bit of a long process, isn't it? Alright, it is many moons later, and we finally have this guy offering us a Woodland Explorer map. So let's just grab this thing, and let's head out on our journey. Where on earth is this? And it would seem the map has in fact led us to a woodland mansion. I am actually kind of scared to go in here, but we do need that disc, and this may be the harder way to go about it, but I'm also kind of excited because, like I said, I don't think I've been to a woodland mansion in a video, and if I have, it was a long time ago. Where's the entrance to this thing? Do I just break in? Alright, I've had a look around, and if there is a doorway, I cannot find it. So I am just gonna break through and break in. There is a lot of scary guys around though. I'm just gonna run past them, I guess. Ah, there's skeletons too! Ah! Oh, that's not a guy I want to run into. Oh, what have I done? Gosh, okay, this is not what I was expecting from this place, honestly. Guys, where on earth is this leading me to? I feel like I've just been running in circles, but I can't be running in circles because I'm not coming out from... Please be a disc. No! I will take this piece of bread though. What is this? A smithing template? Sure, I'll take that. And a lead. Perfect. Still not a disc though. Why have I opted to do this? I feel like I have to go back upstairs. Ah! Or not, or not. Ah! Goodness. Let's just close that up. Am I safe in here? I think I am. This is a lot of chests to check though. What on earth? Wait, is this a prank? Why are they all empty? There's no way. There's no way. Every single chest empty. I feel like I'm literally running out of rooms because there's just nothing here. Okay, let me go up here, let me go up here, let me go up here. Oh no, not a creeper! Oh, there is a chest up here though. No way! Oh my goodness, thank goodness. That's kind of fitting that it was being guarded by a creeper actually. Whew, okay, I am so glad to be able to get out of here. We don't need anything else in this chest. Mission complete. Alright, almost at home to put our disc safely in the cabinet for now. What a journey that has been. Mills! Where on earth have you been? Where have I been? You don't even want to know where I've been. Anyways, let's get this disc into the chest, and that is disc number 10. Millie must have been so worried whilst I was gone, but also she's been missing for so long that I've been worried, so maybe she finally knows how it feels. With that being said, I am so sorry, Mills, but I've got to head out for some more materials once again. I picked up some more wood and topped off my sandstone, terracotta, concrete, and wool. When I was done, I picked up more azalea leaves, crafted more lanterns, and then headed home. So I've gone ahead and added in a couple levels either side and changed up the floor down here, ready to put in some seating. I'm going to start by just creating a couple walls in these gaps right here, just so there's somewhere to put our posts. Oh, that's the wrong thing. And I really feel like adding the seating in here is going to be the thing that really pulls this side together. And if you're wondering what's going to go on over here, this is eventually going to be the stage, don't worry, it is not staying like that. So with that part done, we're just going to add in our railings, then of course we'll add in our seating. I did think about adding couches instead of just these mangrove chairs, but the couches would be the same color red as all of the walls and stuff, so I thought that they'd probably blend in a little bit too much. And they also connect when you put them next to each other, so it wouldn't have looked so theatery. So these are our chairs for upstairs. Do we need a second row? I feel like probably not. And of course we need to add in some chairs right here. And then on each row, I think I'm gonna do 2 rows of chairs. On the front row, I'm gonna do the usual 2 layers of chairs, but then I'm gonna leave a gap and just do a few chairs here at the front. Guys, I feel like this is looking insane. I'm actually so incredibly proud of how this is coming along. And of course, what kind of opera house would this be without a stage? Ta-da! Now, the stage is not nearly complete. We still have a few details to add, and of course we need to do backstage. But for now, I feel like we're looking really, really good, and I am so happy with how this is looking so far. I do have some other business to attend to, so unfortunately, we will not be doing the stage details today, but we will be going on a little adventure. Okay, so you guys are literally not gonna believe this. Or you might, because this is a very M thing to do, but I was doing some research on where to find Malohi and wait, and the wiki was all, ooh, buried treasure. So I've been wandering around looking for buried treasure, and I have checked 2, and I'm at my 3rd shipwreck before I realized there's literally no music discs in buried treasure, and I don't ever recall seeing that. So I headed back, I checked my sources, and guess what? Bedrock only. So like an idiot, I have to head back to our base and try and get those 2 discs the old-fashioned way. I did just find a Lure 1 fishing rod in these weird ruins though, so I guess we'll call this journey a win. Right, and we are back again trying to get some discs with Millie watching over us. So at the end of that little farming session, we have managed to get Malohi, but we do not have weight, although we did manage to get a few of the other discs, so I'm not complaining. So this one here is a dupe. I'm also going to take that one out just so everything isn't mixed up, but let's just put in all of our other discs into this chest and let's go get some well-earned sleep. I just really quickly reorganized my chest to match the list that I have, and it looks like we're missing Stahl. I don't know how you actually pronounce it. I don't think I've ever heard it out loud. We're missing weight, and we're missing the one that you get from the Stronghold, which I think is called the other side or just other side. But in the meantime, let's get this backstage area of the theater finished and of course add our stage details that we're very much missing. Okay, with the floor all filled in, let's put in some posts with these dark oak planks. And then let's just fill in all of these gaps along the top too, just to, well, fill in the gaps. With that all done, let's break up the dark oak with some more sandstone. And I feel like we're definitely in need of some extra details along these posts to make them look like actual pillars and not just super flat beams, I guess. Then with a little bit of greenery, our backstage is looking pretty cute, if I do say so myself. So for the stage details, I thought it'd be really cool to add like a sort of emblem, I guess, to the back bit. So I've cut out a bunch of holes and replaced a bunch of the wood with wool. And I'm gonna fill in all of the gaps with some wood. And there we go. I feel like it really adds a little bit extra to the back bit because before it was super flat and was kind of blending in with these blocks here because it was in fact the same blocks. But now we're kind of missing a pretty important part of a stage. And before I say what it is, can anyone guess what it is? That's right, we are missing some pretty big curtains. So I'm gonna start by doing the shorter bit of curtains right at the top, and then of course we'll bring both of these sides down and add in some little gold detailing bits. Before I do the gold detailing, I'm just gonna add some detailing to the floor with some glazed terracotta and some yellow wool. For the detailing, I'm gonna use some gold trapdoors just like this and bamboo buttons to sort of look like gold details. Then I'm also gonna add the gold detailing to the tops of the curtains and a few buttons just to do the exact same thing. How incredible does this place look? I actually can't believe I built this. It looks insane. So it is nighttime and I've managed to get a grand total of 3 creepers in here. So even though it probably doesn't really save that much time because it took me forever to get these 3 in here in the first place, it's gonna be a nice opportunity for me to just stand here and not do anything for a second, waiting for them to die. And let's see what we have. Oh my goodness, okay, we've got weight, we've got stall. Oh my gosh, we are actually done with the farm. That is incredible news. So let's just go add these into their slots in the chest. And then unfortunately we are going to have to head into the Nether because we need some blaze rods and we need some ender eyes. No, wait, what are they called? Ender pearls to make ender eyes. That's what we need to do. There are the discs in their place and we are just missing that last one. So let's just put this one in the dupes chest and let's get ourselves into the Nether. In the Nether, I spent some time gathering blaze rods and ender pearls to make eyes of ender. Back in the overworld, I headed underground for clay, azalea leaves, gravel, stone, andesite, and diamonds to repair my tools. Then I topped off all of my woods, crafted more lanterns, smelted glass, and collected a bunch of dirt before heading home. So we need to find a stronghold to get the other side disc, and luckily we already have our eyes of ender, so I'm just picking this direction. Let's throw one up and see where we need to go. Where on earth did that even go? Oh, that was kind of low. I'm gonna keep going this way and we'll throw up another one when we get up to the top of the mountain, and then hopefully we have a better idea of where we're going. Let's throw up eye number 2. And it's going this way. We traveled a fair distance in the direction it pointed us in, and it looks like we still have to keep going the exact same way. So let's go grab our ender eye and let's just keep moving. Okay, the eyes are still pointing this way. I don't think the stronghold is here, but it does look like a pretty cool structure for it to be underneath. So let's just throw the eye over here. I mean, it's pointing that way. Let's go the other side of it. I don't know why, I just feel like it would be here. This looks like it's pointing to something, you know? Let's just go all the way over here, throw up an eye. And never mind, we are still moving in this direction. Did that one break? Oh no, it broke! Just before I opt to travel over the ocean, let's throw another one up. Okay, wait, now it's pointing back this way, which makes me think I wasn't far off because this village is just after that little structure that I suspected may have the stronghold underneath it. So you know what? It might have. Let me go to like the center of the village and we'll see where this thing points us. And it's pointing this way. I really may have not been far off. It was just a hunch, but this is going to be super interesting if I'm right. You know, I may just dig down right here. It cannot be far. Maybe one of the crazier things I've done, but I'm just going to dig straight down because I couldn't find a good cave opening. All of the caves kind of just led to like waterlogged areas. So I'm just hoping, well, that really wasn't what I was hoping, but I'm just going to dig down from here, I guess. And hopefully there is a stronghold beneath us somewhere. Okay, we're definitely getting a little bit low, so I'm not convinced there is a stronghold beneath us here, but no way. Oh my god. Ah! Okay, we're safe. We're safe. I forgot that happens. That was just a little bit of a jump scare. We've made it, guys. And we don't even need to go into the end. So we just need to find the chest that potentially has the disc we're looking for. Anything up here? Oh, a chest. Please, please, please. No! Okay, we do get a little bit more food though, so I will take that. Let's keep looking. Let's make our way up these stairs. Oh, and we have another chest, please. No! Why would I need iron armor? Okay, there's another chest here. And again, no disc. I'm starting to think the disc actually isn't found here. Let's see what's down here. Oh! Looks like we found the library. Any chests though? I'm not seeing any. I swear there's meant to be chests in here. Oh, there is a chest there, but is there any chests up here? No, there is not. Okay, let's go back down and grab that chest. Any discs? No, but we do have a Protection 3 Loyalty Free book, which is pretty cool, and an armor trim. Is that what I think it is? Okay, let's go deal with this because the scary things will keep spawning. And I guess since we don't actually need these, we can fill in the holes. I don't think we have enough to actually enter the end. Not that we're going to enter the end anyway, but it's good to get a head start, I guess, for later. And by later, I mean another time. As if we're one short. I am starting to feel a little bit like I'm going in circles. Although actually this doesn't look very familiar. So let me just keep breaking my way. Please, please, please. Yes! Oh my gosh, it is it. Perfect. And we've got another armor trim. And we can get ourselves out of here. Thank goodness for that. So there is actually a final disc that I almost completely forgot about, and that is Relics. So now we've just got to search all of these trail ruins to just hopefully get the disc. I'm actually not sure if that's suspicious gravel or not. Is any of this suspicious? I don't know. Okay, I feel like this one looks a little bit differently textured. There we go. Okay, what is this giving us? Doesn't look like a disc, does it? I will take the emerald though. No worries. Now this one. This one looks suspicious. Oh, you know what? I don't think that is suspicious. It's just my texture pack making it look like it. This one. This one has to be. It is. But it is not a disc. It's some orange dye. I don't know the likelihood of this thing, but it feels like it's very low. Okay, this looks to be a little room of slightly suspicious looking sand. Well, that didn't look like a disc anyway. That also doesn't look like a disc. What is that? That's another pottery shard, isn't it? Okay, wait. This one looked like it might be disc shaped. Please tell me that's the one I need. Okay, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's get the heck out of here. And let's get back to base so we can put all of these in their chest. Or actually, I guess it's time to almost display them. It's kind of crazy to think how far we've come just in the name of collecting every single music disc. One of Minecraft's loveliest and sometimes scariest features. Now we're back home, we just have the task of adding in a little bit of extra detail around this place, and then we're going to make somewhere to display our discs. So as well as this extra detail around the entrance, I'm also adding in some stairs along the top of these little balcony things and some slabs in between to just add a little bit more dimension, because we are still pretty flat in here despite how cool it looks already. As well as the extra blocks along the top, I want to add in some pillar trims because obviously they look incredible. Next up, we're working on detailing these top bits of balcony with some gold trapdoors and some bamboo buttons just like this. That looks really, really cute so far. So with the theatre all done, we're going to get to work on our disc display. Starting by adding in some plant pots on each corner and filling them with a flower pot so that we can put an azalea inside of them, and in a second add some azalea leaves to make it look like tall bushes. Then for our actual display, I have no idea if I'm actually going to be able to do this, but I thought we could have a nice table along here and then add item frames all the way along the back wall, and hopefully we can place these in front. Okay, we can. Perfect. And then of course we'll obviously put the discs in there when we have them in our inventory. So let's just add in our tables on the other side and our glow item frames, and then that makes 10. I think we have 16 discs, so we need to go 1, 2, 3. I think that probably works best. Oh wait, no, because the windows are in the way. We won't be able to put the things on the wall. I think we might have to put them in this space, which is 4 wide, which is a little bit frustrating, but never mind. I think what we can probably do is maybe put up a couple dupes just to fill the space, or maybe some of the shards because we do have a couple extra. Then I'm going to add in a speaker block and our jukebox and do the same on the other side so that it's symmetrical. And just to fill in the gap, I think I'm going to actually put in another table too, and maybe just some lanterns for some extra lighting. And it is finally time to pick up all of our discs and get them into the displays. So let's start by filling in this side, easy peasy. And then I'm going to put in a disc fragment right here just to fill that space, and then just do normal discs in this one. Then we can cover those up with our cupcake display cases and make it look super official. That actually looks really, really cool. So let's go ahead and do the same on the other side. We are going to have to break all of these. And then let's fill these in. And then let's cover these over with the display cases. And there we have it. I literally cannot get over how cool this looks, and also just the entire journey that we've been on to get all of these discs. Absolutely insane. With everything else sorted, I got to work on some pathways, and since I'd completely forgotten to connect my mountain farm to the base during that project, I took this chance to link it up with the opera house, and of course connect the opera house back to our base. I guess this pathway also technically links to our disc farm, which is kind of redundant now, but hey, it could always be repurposed one day as a long-winded creeper farm for fireworks, if we ever get an elytra, that is. And with a little bit of greenery and lighting, I think it's safe to say that we are done here. And I just want to do one last walkthrough of everything that we've done here. So of course we have every disc lovingly displayed in the center, or the entrance, sorry, of our opera house. Then through here we have quite possibly the craziest thing, or one of the crazier things that I've built, and I just cannot get over how in love with it I am. With that said and done, Millie, you know what time it is? It's time to run the outro reel. From the depths of the earth, to the wastes of the nether, to the long-forgotten corners of ancient forests, our pursuit of music had taken us across the world Millie and I were beginning to call home. And I knew we'd been successful in our goal today, so my name is Em, this is Millie, and you have all been amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.